going on, guys? My name is Dustin and welcome back to the Minecraft channel and welcome to Dustin Talks. If you guys are just now tuning in, hi, hello, my name is Dustin. I make Minecraft videos, I do tutorials, and then I do stuff like this. Basically what Dustin Talks is for all you new people if you're just tuning in. Like I said, it is a series that is focused more on commentary, not gameplay. This is not a tutorial. This is me just doing tedious work around my city that you guys can see here and talking to you guys. Basically, I ask you guys for a subject. It can be about YouTube, it can be about Minecraft, it can be about just gaming in general, or it can be about real life stuff. I will answer it and make an entire video on it. This topic was suggested by two people. Technically, it kind of falls into the same category. The first one being Modern Builds. You can see his comment on the screen, along with Daniel Tai. If I said that wrong, I'm sorry. Daniel Tai, T-A-I, I don't know. Daniel Tai. Thank both of you, Modern Builds and Daniel Tai. You're awesome. Modern Builds said, the best tip you have for building buildings/houses. And Daniel Tai said, techniques for creating a skyscraper. So I'm going to kind of cover both in one video since, you know, the whole skyscraper thing kind of falls under the whole building category. So yeah, shout out to you guys, and here we go. So, what you guys are going to be seeing me do, I'm going to be showing you some examples of different skyscrapers, and all I'm going to be doing is filling in some floors and some road stuff, so be prepared for that. It's going to be exciting. I want to start off by saying, before we get into this, that I do not consider myself a good builder or an expert builder. I consider myself average. I know enough to do what I need to do, and that's about it. And I'm content with just that. But one thing you need to know is, no matter how good you may be at building a certain style, there's always room for improvement, and there's always new things you can learn and techniques and stuff like that to kind of make the building process a little bit easier or even make it better. So I'm here to talk about that. Now also, there's kind of this misconception with some people that play Minecraft that it is an absolute crime to watch a tutorial. I'm here to tell you that it's not. You know how I learned? I learned from tutorials. I was playing Minecraft way before I even started this YouTube channel, and I did tutorials because I started Minecraft in survival. I played on the PC before creative was even a thing. That's how long I've been playing Minecraft. And on the Xbox, obviously, creative wasn't introduced right away. We probably had, I don't know, probably almost a year of survival, maybe even more. I don't know, but it was a long time. So when creative mode came out, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to build. So I watched tutorials and I learned. And I still learn new stuff to this day. Doing the tutorials that I do and following along, you know, to my builds or my friends' builds or whatever, I still learn stuff. So no, it is not a crime to watch tutorials. If tutorials help you, which they do, watch them. There's also another misconception where people are like, oh, if you look up images on Google, you're a bad builder. This and that and everything else. Personally, I don't see anything wrong with it. If you can take a picture of a real life house and build it in Minecraft and replicate it, that takes some talent, that takes skill. You don't have to build stuff off the top of your head. It's okay to watch other people's videos or to join other people's worlds and take inspiration off their builds. There's nothing wrong with it. Like there's nothing wrong with watching tutorials. I do tutorials for a reason. I make my tutorials to help people, because that's what it's about. Minecraft can be challenging. It can be very challenging, and like I said, there's still stuff that I'm learning to this day. It's just how it is. Minecraft, it's just like anything, guys. You have to practice, you know, and these tips and tricks may not work for everybody, but I'm going to tell you the tips and tricks that I personally follow in order to come up with designs. Now this could vary for anybody. And there are many different styles and stuff like that with Minecraft, as you guys may know. You have modern, you have traditional, you have Victorian, you have medieval, there's just so much. The list is honestly endless. You have fantasy. Kind of find something that you're good at and really try to stick to it. It's also good to branch out. Like for me, I'm more of a traditional type builder. And my traditional, I've seen crazy traditional builds. My traditional is nowhere near the level of traditional builds that I've seen. But it's just the style that I feel more comfortable building in. Like, I am not a modern builder by any means. I struggle with modern. But I still try and I still learn, and you know, I've honestly gotten pretty good at modern, but I'm not super comfortable with modern. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just I much rather build, you know, traditional and stuff like that, or suburban type houses. It's just what I do. You guys can tell if you go back and look at my tutorials playlist, all the houses I've ever done are more traditional and stuff like that. It's just what I'm comfortable building. It's just I found my niche, and I just kind of stick with it. And you guys will do the same thing. So it's really just trial and error. You know, start off modern, try traditional, try everything, and eventually you'll find something that you just kind of take comfort in, and that's, you'll know, like, okay, well, this is what I can build. So yeah, it's great to experiment, because really it's a lot of trial and a lot of error. You have to try things in order to see if it's going to work or not. You know, you have to get creative, and that's the beauty about Minecraft, is there's no creative limit. There's always new things and designs that you can think of and come up with. And when I'm building a house, for me, it is easier for me to start with a wall section. So literally, like, pick my length, and if you want your house to come to a 1-point peak in the middle, where you would cap it off with a slab, you always want to have an odd number. Now, if you don't like odd numbers, then you're going to come to a 2-point peak. You know, you're going to have 2 steps that are going to touch end to end with each other, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me personally, the way I do my windows and stuff like that, I always build the length of my houses, where you have the peaks and like the roof peaks, with an odd number. It just works for me. You guys can experiment and try whatever you want. But I always build the wall section, and then that's usually how I'm able to base my house. That's where I try my detailing. I try to get everything out there in one go. Like that's when I think, okay, like floor and ceiling on the inside, you know, stuff like that. And window placement, build a wall section, and then the rest of the house will come to you. And as you're building, you'll be like, oh, well, I can do this, and I can do this, and this. And it just kind of comes to you naturally. And there's going to be times where you mess up. Like the cyan house that I'm doing the tutorial on right now, which we only have 1 episode left. If you guys haven't seen it, it's a really cool house, and a lot of people really like it. It's doing super well on the channel, and I'm very grateful for that. That house had a lot of trial and error, because it's something different I tried. I've never really built a house like that, and I gave it a shot, and honestly, I love it. It turned out great. And, you know, there was a lot of trial and error, and I really didn't take into consideration some parts, and that shows when it comes to doing the interior of the house that I really didn't think too much of it through. Which, you know, just plan accordingly. I know a lot of people like to start with floor plans, and I'm just going to tell you guys right now that I suck at floor plans. I can furnish, if someone lays out room sizes for me, puts in the walls, and makes it look good, I can furnish. I can do the furnishing. But when it comes to actually like laying out the room and the room size and stuff like that, it is my weakness. It always has been. But the way that I teach myself is I Google image floor plans, and I recommend starting with a ranch house, because ranch houses are only 1 story. You don't have to worry about putting in steps, and if you ever looked at a floor plan of a house that's 2 or 3 stories, it's kind of confusing. So I definitely recommend starting out with a ranch style floor plan. Just Google image ranch style house floor plan, and look at it and really try to use your imagination and convert it into Minecraft. And my ranch house that I did a tutorial on the channel a little ways back, you guys can find it, but that's how I did it. I started with the floor plan, and I was actually pretty pleased with the way it came out. Now, I wish there were some things I could change. I did make the rooms a little big, and once I actually got the outside of the house built, I then realized, but like I said, it's just trial and error. Now I know if I ever go back and do it again, I can definitely downscale a few things and make it better. So it's just, you learn, and it takes time, and I'm still learning new stuff every day, and I recommend building with friends. If you have a friend that plays Minecraft that is a super good builder and can build really cool detailed houses, get with that person and say, hey, can we build a house together? I really want to learn, and it's the best way to learn. Exit Mystery and I have been building together for the past 2 years. He has literally been around since the beginning of my channel, and him and I became friends on Xbox, and we have built so much stuff together, and we learn off of each other. You know, he's a great builder, and I consider him a much better builder than me, but even Mystery said he's seen improvement in my builds just from building with him and learning. I mean, it's what it is. Like, Mystery and I are able to come up with buildings like this because he'll say, like, you know, or we'll kind of discuss an idea, like, okay, like, well, let's build a skyscraper, and then we'll say, okay, well, what if we try to do it like this, and we use these materials, and then we try to make it this shape? And I'll show you guys some examples of where him and I played off each other's ideas and actually come out with some really cool products. And, you know, that's the thing. It's always good to build with friends. Like, there's been times where Mystery has built stuff, and I've asked him, hey, man, do you mind if I, like, replicate this myself and, you know, try it? And I do that. So have a friend build, like, a really cool house or a building in your world and say, hey, is it okay if I try to build this? And it's the best way to learn. It really is the best way to learn. And if you have a friend and you guys are trying to learn together, find a really big tutorial on YouTube. They exist. Axia Nerve does some great tutorials. He has an awesome Victorian mansion, and he has like a Victorian town hall, and he has really cool builds. And, you know, build tutorials with your friends and follow along, because you guys will learn. And as you follow along, you'll say, oh, well, that's a really cool thing I didn't know I could do. I didn't know I could put steps this way and make this certain kind of shape. And it's really awesome, the stuff that you can do in Minecraft. And I definitely recommend building with a friend, watching tutorials, you know, and as you practice more and more, you'll find things that you get more comfortable with. Like I said, I build up a wall section first, and then I'm able to base the rest of my build off of just one little peak, one little wall. And I know most people like to start with like a front door, most people like to start with a floor plan. It's just, you just do what you like. For me, it's just building up one wall, and I'm able to base it. Like I said, I can just look at that and say, okay, well, what if I add this same type of design on this side? And then it just kind of flows together, and it works. But it does take time. It does take trial and error, and there's a lot of frustrations. And I don't want you guys to think that after watching this video, you're going to be able to go and build something crazy. Some of you might be able to, but it's not for everybody. And you learn, and it takes time, and it takes patience, and that is the most important thing to have, time and patience. You know, you could start building a really awesome house and then realize you're off by one block and it doesn't line up, and then you can get mad and frustrated and you just want to delete it. This stuff is going to happen. You're going to make mistakes. I still make mistakes when I'm building because it's a human thing. Humans make errors, humans make mistakes, and it's no different like if you're trying to learn how to play a guitar or learning how to skateboard. It's the same thing. It just takes practice and time, and eventually it will just kind of click with you and you'll slowly progress. I still progress and learn how to build new things to this day. Everybody does. No matter how good you are, there's always room for improvement. And keep that in mind. Always keep an open mind. You could think you're the best builder in the entire world, and then, you know, you can always learn more and just progress yourself. And that's what it's about, guys. That is what it is about. And I'm going to show you some examples here in a second of some skyscrapers and stuff like that. But with houses, yes, look up tutorials. Look up floor plans, and, you know, try different styles. Try Victorian, try modern, try a bunch of stuff, because you'll eventually find what you're good at. Look up a modern house tutorial, find one you like, give it a shot. If you do it and you find out, okay, maybe modern's not my thing, look up a Victorian house, look up a traditional house, look up a suburban house, look up a Gothic, medieval, fantasy, and try it. Keep your options open, and you will find something that you're good at. Like, I caught on to medieval builds, which I'm not good at medieval. I haven't built medieval in a while, but back when I was doing my medieval series, I was really into building medieval, and it's just something I just tried. You know, I didn't watch any tutorials on it. I was just like, you know what? I've seen people build medieval. I've been in some medieval worlds. I'm gonna give it a shot, and I did, and I actually fell in love with it. I like building medieval. I haven't done it in a while, like I said, but, you know, along with building traditional, I just kind of found my place in medieval. I'm not a great medieval builder. There are people that do insane, detailed stuff that I will probably never be able to do in my life. But I'm happy with where my medieval is, and a lot of people liked it when I did that series. So, like I said, it just, sometimes you just gotta go for it. When I started this channel, my very first video was this yellow suburban house. I was so proud of that house. So proud of it. Now I can go back and look at that house and say, okay, this is what I can change, because I've learned so much. I can make a completely different house. And it's cool to see the progression. Like, I've been doing this, like I said, I've been playing Minecraft on the PC before creative mode. That was years ago. This game came out on consoles in 2009, maybe? I could be wrong, like 2009, I think. There's no way. I can't remember. But whatever, I've been playing Minecraft on the console since it came out. And I'm still learning. So that just goes to show that it does take time, and it does take patience and effort, and watching many hours of tutorials and many hours with friends building stuff, you learn. And you just gotta just do it. But for skyscrapers, I'm not the best at skyscrapers. Mystery is really good at designing skyscrapers, but I've honestly gotten a pretty good understanding, and I could probably do some pretty decent stuff now. At least decent in my eyes. Maybe not to other people, because like I said, there are people out there that are absolutely insane at Minecraft. I will never consider myself to ever be on the level of those people. Like I said, I consider myself average. I know enough to do what I need to do and make it work for me. And I'm always trying to learn. I'm always trying to improve. But definitely, if you're building a house, try different things. Try tutorials, different styles, like I said. Google images. You can even Google like Minecraft Victorian house or Minecraft traditional house. Google images and take inspiration. It is okay to take inspiration off other people's builds. Just some people, you know, if they build something and they work hard on it, they don't want people copying it block for block, which I can understand. You know, because basically you're stealing their work, and a lot of people do not credit the builder for that. I guarantee you there's people that watch my tutorials and then go and tell all their friends that they did it themselves. There's no doubt in my mind that it happens, because there's people like that. But I do get a lot of people that do credit me, and that's awesome. But I do these tutorials obviously because I want to help you guys, and not only is it helping you, it's helping me. By copying builds, I'm learning more, and I'm becoming a faster builder because of it. So, you know, if you see somebody's build, don't copy it block for block unless you have permission by them to do so. And if you do copy it block for block, at least give them credit, because it is their build, it is their design when it's all said and done, and it's kind of crappy to steal somebody's work and claim it as your own. It really is. So always give them credit. And, you know, just practice, guys. Practice. Start up a flat world and just practice. You know, practice exteriors, then practice interiors. Just practice everything, and eventually you'll be able to, you know, you'll be able to do it on your own, and really without much help. And trust me, it's such a rewarding feeling when that happens. Now I'm going to give you guys some examples of skyscrapers and stuff like that. So now you could have a skyscraper like this, where you can see the bottom is different from the top. Everything lines up perfectly even with each other. If I go to the inside, you'll see what I mean. See, the bricks and the sandstone are in line with each other. And you can design the bottom a little different. You know, like we kind of made this part that kind of sticks out a little bit, and then it falls back into the bricks, and it looks like this. And this is, you know, the thing about skyscrapers is really all you have to do is come up with a base. If you're going to make the base different, come up with a base, and then come up with like one row of windows. And then after that, as you can see, it's just the same thing. Build it up as high as you want. Do whatever you want with it. When it comes to the roof, like, you know, do something like this. It's just trial and error. This looks really complicated, but this is really such an easy roof, you honestly have no idea. And then you can get into something like this, where you can see the base at the bottom is exactly the same as the floors going up. And I have a better example where it's not all cut off like this and we have smaller roofs, but you guys can get as detailed as you want, and it's just trial and error. Like, look at the roof on this. This is an older looking skyscraper, so of course it's going to look a little more fancy and, you know, a little more outdated as opposed to something like this. Same thing with this building here. It's a very old looking building. But as I was telling you guys, Mystery and I kind of play off each other's ideas. He started this skyscraper, and as he was building it up, he kind of stopped one section lower than the rest. And I was like, you know what? It'd be really cool if we kind of stopped it here and then continued building up. And this is what we came up with. It is a really cool building. Is it practical? No, because it's like super skinny in here, but it's still cool, and the building looks really awesome from a distance. And this is a perfect example of having the base different from the rest. And then right here is a really good example of having the base the exact same. Basically, these shapes, they're just built up, and there's just little detailing, but the skyscraper literally does not change at all the way up. It's just, we just added stuff to it, and look at it. It's incredible. And this is what I'm talking about, trial and error. And then we have this build we're working on here, where, you know, it's just different, and you just got to play around with shapes and sizes. You know, you can build a skyscraper like this that's a perfect square, or you can get creative and start throwing different heights and shapes and levels into it, like this. Like, look how this tower sticks up farther than the rest. You just got to mess around, guys, and just keep practicing. Now, if you're going to build a build like this town hall is really repetitive. Basically, Mystery and I started with a row of windows, a set of 3 windows. And then it's just copy and pasting, basically. It's just repeating the same thing over and over again for as long as you want, and then, you know, then start to change it up a little bit. And eventually things will just come together and fall into place. So let's go ahead and recap real quick the tips and the tricks. 1, it is not a crime to watch a tutorial. Follow along to a tutorial. There is nothing wrong with it. 2, use Google Images. Look up a floor plan. Look up like a real life house. If you guys live in like a certain area and there's like a really well-known house near you, look it up. Try to replicate it. There's nothing wrong with that either. Number 3, find friends to build with. If you have friends that are really good, have them work on them with like on a house. Say, hey, let's get together, let's build a house, and kind of give your ideas and your input. Don't be afraid to change things. Just ask them if it's okay. If they come up with like a design, say, is it okay if I change this and try this? And just experiment, because eventually everything will kind of fall into place and you'll actually have a better understanding. And always remember that there is room for improvement. And also that this takes time, patience, and dedication. If this is something you really want to do and you want to build an amazing city, trial and error. Build something. If you don't like it, restart. Change things up. Change materials. There's so many endless tips and tricks I can give you guys, but those are just the basic ones. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys are brand new. Also, leave me topics for the next thing. It can be about YouTube. It can be about Minecraft. It can be about real life stuff. It does not matter. I will answer it. I will feature your comments on the video, and it's going to be a good time. You guys are incredible. I love you. The more questions you ask, the more things you want to talk about, the longer this series is going to go, because this is based off your feedback. So I will see you guys later in another video. Bye-bye. Light gray wool. That's white wool. I said light gray. Or you can really grab whatever color you want and, you know, go ahead and just use whatever colors you want. So, light gray wool, light gray carpet. Let's go ahead and grab some beacons. Let's grab some anvils. And let's